Power Girl, issue 1, Leah Williams writing with Eduardo
Yep.
Pansica on the art. You guys read this, so take it away.
Yes. So, Connor, you seemed a bit negative when we brought it up earlier.
Connor,
Yeah,
negative? What? That's not the
There you
Connor
go.
I know.
The first, 7 or 8 pages, maybe.
Mhm.
And I'm coming to the conclusion it might have been mostly the art I was enjoying in those backups before.
Okay.
Because I was just not into this at all. I don't think it's terrible. I was just really not into it. And I was like, because the art's fine. It's Panseeker, it's fine. Panseeker's not a bad artist.
No.
But the, was it Sauvage we had before?
Uh-huh.
It's so stylized. It was that fairy tale-esque sort of look. That this is just, all right, it's house style. And it looks good for house style. It's not not bad art, but it's not. It's not setting itself apart from any other books like it was before with the backups. I think that kind of lost a lot of what this was for me.
Yeah, so what I will... My main issue is it seems like they're getting away from the superhero canceling side of things, which I really liked as a identity 4-page for Power Girl, because it did make her stand out from the rest of the super family, right? It's her thing would be hey, let me help you fix you so you could help others. And I know that they got rid of the whole telepathy thing, but she still could have gone that way. And it's funny because I was talking about on Twitter how excited I was for this, because I've been enjoying Leah Williams' Power Girl stuff. Even the Night Terrors, which, again, Night Terrors is what it was. There were some bright spots in the Power Girl story. But I was talking to a friend, and they were asking if she was still Karen Starr, if she was still in the business world. I was like, oh no, she's doing superhero, counseling, and she can astral punch and stuff. And it's a completely different, it's kind of giving her own identity in the super family. And then I open this, and she's now, what's her, do you have it open, Connor?
Omen.
Huh?
She's with Omen.
She's with Omen, but her new name, it's Dr. Page something.
Oh,
and she's a tech business person, and I was just like, oh, this is not what I was expecting.
Diamond Dallas?
No, not Diamond Dallas.
Paige Stetler.
Yeah, Paige Stetler. And so this opens up with her and Omen essentially being undercover, while also using this event that they're holding to give Dr. Stetler, and Paige herself, kind of this vibe that she's always been around, right? They're trying to solidify her identity. And in doing so is that she's starting this, she's still working in the tech world, but she's holding this fundraiser to auction off things from space that she's had smuggled in to Earth, which already is not a, again, not where we left off. I feel like I'm missing chapters here, because when the last one ended, after she faces down Johnny Sorrow, right? She astral punches into space and is like, well, this is a story for another time, right? And here she's all dressed up. She's dressed to the nines. Omen's working as a bartender, even though she has no idea what goes in drinks. But because she's telepathic, she's just gonna, read people's minds. Which, as someone that's been to a couple bars, not everybody knows what they're drinking, right? Not everybody knows the ingredients to the cocktail that they want.
Most people don't.
Right. They just know what the cocktail is, so they'll order it, right? So there was definitely a flaw in Omen's plan. But Omen's still talking to Paige through all of this, and we, they bring up the smuggler that Paige has befriended that has smuggled all these artifacts in. Atlanteans are bringing stuff in to be auctioned. And then all hell breaks loose. This alien guy attacks and starts, calling out Power Girl, because she shows up now. She, does the quick change, ends up in the Power Girl costume, calling her a Kryptonian and Kryptonian scum, and that, Kryptonians are just colonizers that, never had an original thought. They just take what others do. They think they're better than everybody. And, it's a big fight scene with Power Girl and this guy and his people were, but he reveals that, oh yeah, he's just going to blow up this big chunk of Metropolis. So what Paige does is she goes and finds the bomb and astral punches it into the Marianas Trench, right? She thinks that the day's saved. Streaky needs to get fed. Which there's a cutaway that made me think of Pete for sure, right? Because Omen and her are talking about how she forgot to feed Streaky, and Streaky's not going to forget it. And he looks very annoyed. And Superman shows up, and I was like, "Hey, Paige, like I know you're trying to get reestablished, right? But what you did by putting that bomb into the Marianas Trench, the Atlanteans that were there took that as as an act of war.
They took that personally.
So yeah, and like they after what had happened with the what was that stone, the Genesis fragment, we're still not on good terms with them exactly. So like you gotta think before you do things. And she's like, yeah, I'm sorry. It's just, this is real tough. And this is where the characterization started to come down, where I feel that Williams has worked so hard to establish this unique identity for her. To her to just kind of back down from Clark, I thought was a little bit weird, right? Because, she'd be like, well, I did try my best, and I get that, but can you, let me talk to the Atlanteans, or, along those lines. And then he tells her that there's this weird Kryptonian virus that has invaded this small Caribbean island. And this is what some of the stuff in the Night Terrors issues were. That there was this weird virus going through this island and infecting everybody. And he needs her to check it out. And she tells him, well, isn't there any other members of the super family? And he points out, he's like, well, no, this is not from my Krypton. It's from your Krypton. Reminding her that she's, her Krypton that doesn't exist anymore, right? And from her reality that is, I know wishy-washy, it's infecting through there. So it's not what I was, digging from before in the Power Girl. But I'm going to trust Leah Williams because so far I'm still, even the Night Terror stuff was pretty decent. I like the dynamic between her and Omen because that's still there. And again, just, throwing her back in tech and all that stuff, I just feel it's a regression. I don't know if that was editorial or what. But yeah, like Connor was saying, the Pensinga art's fine. The action sequences, it all feels like very much comic book art, made for an easy breezy read. But yeah, I'm going to keep going with it. It's not great, but it is readable. So I'll give this a 7.5.